Today, fire and rescue personnel were joined by experts from the Australian Nuclear Research Organisation and the EPA to examine the toxic site at Herons Creek. All highway work has been suspended after 7 workers who inhaled fumes suffered nausea and vomiting. The site was the scene of a major spill of toxic substances, including radioactive material and DDT, in 1980.
The construction contractor is very concerned for their employees, very concerned to identify what it is and to put in place a proper treatment regime.
The state government has moved to address concerns, appointing former National Parks and Wildlife Chief Brian Gilligan to head an independent investigation into the incident. The Minister says the investigation will examine the approvals process, what risk assessments were undertaken and what measures were put in place to protect road workers and members of the public. But opposition leader John Robertson doesn't buy it.
The tender documentation identified that there was toxic chemicals on site. This government's just looking to use this inquiry to cover its tracks and its failings.
The announcement comes as another police officer who helped clean up the scene in 1980 today revealed he's suffering the consequences of exposure to the toxic substances.
I was sick that afternoon, violently ill. I was vomiting, I developed a very severe headache that I had. I went and saw a doctor actually, it was the next day, and he said, it should go in a few days. That headache lasted about 3 years, non-stop.
Bob Deards is highly critical of the treatment he received following the accident.
I think I had about 2 years off work and received help from nobody.
Initial sampling from the site has failed to identify the contamination, and authorities are sending mixed messages about the buried chemicals. They acknowledge they exist, but they just can't find them. Dennis Driver, NBN News.